Everybody to stay on point,
Yep.
so we can get Karen out of here on time.
Yes, sir. Oh, I plan on talking for an extra half hour today.
Joe, can you hear me?
Okay, you're on. I mean, not on TV.
Joe,
Tonight, I'm not on
Okay.
that, I'm mute. Hey, Joe. Didn't pack it.
Testing, been a packet.
Hey, Joe.
Testing.
Okay. We're on and we're recording.
All right, gentlemen, you ready? All right. Town of Vernon Board of Supervisors meeting is called to order, November 2nd, 2017 at 5:30 p.m. All rise for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Chairman Thomas Byrd.
Present.
Supervisor Jeff Millies.
Present.
Supervisor Gary Wildy.
Present.
Supervisor Ed Moline.
Present.
Supervisor Bill Craig.
Present.
Mr. Chairman, do you have a quorum of your board president, and DPW Director John Henneberry is here also.
Open meetings compliance.
Mr. Chairman, the agenda was posted inside and outside the Vernon Town Hall to the media, to businesses within the town of Vernon, and to the town of Vernon website. You're in full compliance with the open meetings law.
Thank you. Public comments. Are there any public comments? Any public comments? The record show there's no public comments. Item 6. Chairman announces possible closed session. And I'll read item 7. Motion to go into closed session. Consideration and possible action on motion to convene into executive session under Wisconsin Stat Trend, or 19.85, Trend 1, Trend E, deliberating of negotiation and purchase of public properties, investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business. Whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session, more specifically, negotiations for cooperation and boundary agreement between the town of Vernon and the town of Waukesha. Included in the closed session are the town board members and the town clerk. Motion requires a roll call vote. All right, with that being read, item 8, miscellaneous matters. Following matters will be discussed and possible action taken by the town board unless otherwise noted. Item A, use of the Vernon Activity Center and Vernon Fire Station, number 2. As we said before, we're going to keep this on here. John, do you have anything to report on that?
I have been looking into getting some quotes on the abatement possibilities. From what everybody's been telling me, we are going to have an inspection done because it's a commercial building. And I called the guy today. Actually, I'm waiting to hear from him too for a quote on an inspection. I've got 2 other ones, but this guy I think is highly recommended. And a couple of the people to actually do the abatement would like to see the inspection report before they kind of give a quote on, taking care of that. So as of right now, I called the guy actually this morning. He never called me back yet, but
Okay.
kind of waiting to hear from him. So.
All right. Supervisors have anything to add to that? Okay. All right, I'm just gonna, there's no action taken there, we're just waiting, let the minutes show that we're waiting for,
More
another
information.
price for the inspection.
Yeah.
So, we'll just keep that on the agenda as it goes along, as an agenda item. Item B, policy for the maintenance of the town water systems. All right, before you, we wrote this policy. I talked to the chief, and he hasn't seen it, but I told him, I read it to him, he doesn't have a problem with it. He was glad that they don't have to do any maintenance work like painting the fire hydrants or anything like that. And he says he's got one guy that always calls him and tells him that his his hydrant needs to be painted out in front, so. I said, well, after we pass this policy, we'll get that number from you, and then we can give it to John, and if we can get it in this year.
I've got 4 of the 5 painted already.
Okay,
The one down by Jeff, I
okay, good.
didn't know it was there. So I just realized I was there today, so.
So are there any comments from the supervisors?
Did you paint them seasonal, candy canes?
No.
No. One very quick one. He says there's a history dealing with the town water system. Can we know what that's about?
Yeah, a few years back, Eddie, we had, over in, Sand Hill subdivision down there, there's a tank, and they couldn't get water in, they couldn't get water out of it. So what the town board did, I remember that very succinctly, we went and had Doug dig up the top on it to see what was happening, the pipe was busted up. So they had a welder come out, welded a new pipe on it, and now it's good. So that kind of set the precedent, that fire department does the testing, town, the DPW from the town does the maintenance.
Makes sense. Thanks.
So that's the only time I can remember anything being done with those tanks.
Is this our existing written policy right here?
This is the new one.
That's the new one. Is there a written one prior at all?
In the fire prevention ordinance, there is some discussion, but it's not specific.
Okay.
We have to approve this?
You don't have to, but you asked for a policy to be drafted.
No, but I'd say, do we need to make a motion to approve it? I would make that motion. Do you want to read the policy, or is it self-explanatory?
I think it's self-explanatory.
Okay. I would make a motion that we adopt the policy for maintenance of the water cisterns.
I'll second.
Any other comments, supervisors? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Item C, resolution 2017-8, resolution to approve the 2008 Town of Vernon fee schedule. Any comments, gentlemen?
I had a question, page 1, down at the bottom, town engineer, 144 per hour. Right under it, town operations director, Tom Ludwig, who's the engineer, 168 an hour.
That's the difference.
What is the capacity of the operations director?
About $27. No, the difference is we usually don't bring in Tom Ludwig because of his price, but there's times when the actual town engineer, the less expensive, needs to go to the lead engineer, so we wanted to delineate. Every so often that does happen if something's beyond that engineer's capacity and they have to go to a higher level. That's when Tom Ludwig is brought in.
So Tom Ludwig is not the town engineer?
Andy Schultz is.
He used to be at one time,
Yeah, that's what I
but he
thought.
moved up the ladder.
Okay.
And got more expensive.
Yes. But we incorporated the chief's request to the fire, to the fee schedule, the DPW director, the rec director. I did increase the cigarette license in accordance to other communities. It just went up $25, but that's what people are doing throughout the state, so
Culvert.
the culvert permit went up.
Utility.
Utility permits, yeah.
Back on Tom Ludwig and Tom Lanceberg, it doesn't say per hour on my copy. Would you specify that?
Yeah, we can put that in.
Kind of got confused on zoning review on page 2. It has a bunch of items on top that are repeated down below. After commercial industrial, kind of sticks in the middle of that. And we got zoning review again on the bottom with some of the same items showing different prices. So I'm assuming,
One's residential and one's commercial.
that's it?
Yes.
Okay.
The difference between residential, zoning review, and commercial.
Which?
Right under, on page 1, you'll see where it says building inspection, residential 1 and 2 family. And then you see the permits for that. And then on the top of page 2, you see the zoning permits that are applicable to residential development. As you go down, then you'll see in the middle of page, commercial industrial, which is anything above a 2-family, and any commercial, then you see the zoning permits that apply for commercial
Oh,
development.
and that goes residential and commercial?
Yeah, and HVAC, yes.
Just the mechanics, the mechanical?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And one other quick question, what is early start? There's a fee for that.
Yeah,
$250.
if somebody starts something without a permit,
Okay.
or, I shouldn't state that. If they need to start, if everything's in the work and for some reason they have to start something, there's times Vince will let that happen and they pay an extra fee for that.
Oh, okay, but he has to approve it either way.
Oh, yeah, it's something that's actually in the works, there's not an issue, but for some reason they have to, their building's
Start
being,
digging
yeah,
up there.
right.
Somebody's there, yeah.
Right.
Okay. No problem, thank you.
Tom, real quick, I see the chief is here. Is this an all-inclusive listing of all medications that the dispersed is regard to fees, chief?
In terms of,
Cost.
yes,
Okay,
everything that we would be giving.
okay, but do you anticipate administering other medications other than what's listed here?
If we would do that, we would come back and just have an addendum put onto our billing. Like if we would, one of the drugs that we may end up going to is a different pain medication called ketamine.
Okay,
If we do that
Instead of morphine?
instead of fentanyl, yeah. And there's different applications for each one, and sometimes the ketamine works a little better. So if we would do that, it would probably end up being billed just the same as it would be for the fentanyl. It would be fentanyl, we'd probably put a slash on it and add ketamine to it just for the billing company so that they would understand what we want to do.
Well, the Narcan at $48 a hit, that's very cheap to save a life.
And it gets used a lot. One of the 2 drugs we use the most of,
Yeah.
followed by dextrose is the first, actually, for diabetics.
okay, thank you.
So, this is a living document, guys. Anytime somebody wants to change something or wants to revisit this, we can, but we'll need a motion to approve here so we can get this for the budget.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2018 fee schedule as presented.
Per resolution,
For the
2007.
resolution, we need number 2017-08 to establish a schedule of fees for 2018 as authorized by the Town of Vernon Municipal Code.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Just a quick question. Have we ever had permits for the noise issue or variance on noise? Have we ever issued those?
I don't,
You get a permit fee, there's a permit fee for noise, $85, and there's a variance fee. I suppose that's super noise.
I would think if something would come to the board where they're proposing some type of event,
Yard wedding or something
Right.
like that. and
Haven't seen-
Music or band, it'd be advantageous to get the permit, because the cops, are gonna show.
and then the permit delineates the time of the music, if there's any complaints, it would give the board the flexibility to charge for that.
At least if you look in that ordinance, that's what it kind of uses for weddings, stuff like that. Functions, some type of function. So, it's been moved and seconded, any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Item D, forwarding overdue accounts receivable invoices to collection opportunities. in collection? Madam Clerk?
Every year close to tax time, and the only prevailing issues that could be put on the tax bill would be the third,
The circle?
yeah, the ones that are circled could go on the tax bills, and I'd have to get that to the county before, I believe the county's cutoff is like 21st of November, as soon as possible. But at this point, I would ask the board, the three invoices that are circled, if the payment's not made by November 17th, that the board authorizes the clerk to place those on their tax bills like we have done in the past. The other ones, you don't have to do anything right now. Then there is one that does have to be voided. I put in your packet that, the one that, it's invoice number 3724. That needs to be voided because you can see that the person actually made the payment. But that's something we could do, at another board meeting. The pressing issue right now is the three that are circled. I would ask the board if they'd give the clerk the authority to put those on the tax bills. And then there's two businesses there that I'd like to, with the board's permission, send a letter to them letting them know that they were given permission to have a business with all fees to be paid, and they would run the risk of losing their site plan of operation that you did approve in good faith for them to make their payments.
Are those the two top ones?
It's on the top and then the second from the bottom. One's for, in defense of the one on the top, that their billing all comes out of New Jersey. So I don't know if there's a communication issue or what the issue is there, but for the the ACV Environmental and SJB Concrete, I really think, a letter letting, and I would circle where they agreed that the invoices were to be paid before they opened up their business. Everybody else pays them, but those are the only two. The other ones either, there's invoice number 3802, that's relatively new. I'm surprised on 3243 that he hasn't paid either, but those I'd like to do letters on. But the pressing issue are the three that need to go on the tax bill if payment's not made. So I did the last invoice we sent them, on the outside of the envelope we put colored important, critical, urgent, and then the inside telling them that this was going to be discussed at the November 2nd board meeting, that if they have any issues, to appear. And also invoice number 2917, they are making their payments. The board did agree allow them to make payments, so that one, I'm sure they will make that payment. I'm not worried about that, but the three. And just so you know, the invoice for the Simon property is going to go on John's bill. And he knows that. He came in and we explained that to him. That was the certified survey map that we did for the farm. So it goes on the applicable.
Those two with damage to property, those have been on there for,
Those kids.
a couple of times. Have they been letters?
They've called, two of them called and said, I already paid this, and I had to explain to them, you paid your court costs and your fines. They said, the bill that you're getting now is what you owe the town for the DPW department to replace the signs and the labor.
Was that stated in your court, do you know?
I didn't go to court,
No.
so
But that's the last you heard from them?
they were surprised, so we'll see if they,
Okay.
I'd
You
give,
need a motion to
yeah, the three. Invoice number 36.
67, 3249, actually 4, right?
Yes, it'd be all four.
35, 67, 36, 13.
To be placed on the
To be
appropriate tax.
collected against their taxes,
To be placed on the appropriate tax bill.
to be placed on the appropriate tax bill. See,
Yes.
You got that right.
Yep.
Thank you.
And then the other ones we'll bring back later, if that's okay.
I'll second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
And then, do you need a motion for that one that needs to be voided?
No, I'll put that on the agenda separately, just so it's clear,
Okay.
with the chairman's permission.
Oh, correspondence. I was reading in the paper on Wednesday, I get the Wednesday Journal in the morning, in that now section, they had an article in there about the combining of fire departments,
Yeah.
about the study that the county's doing.
Yeah.
And her name was in there. I had a call into Gary Bell, but I didn't get anything back from him yet. Just want to know where they are with that. It wasn't so much combining the services. It's going to be a study, from what I can see and what I've talked to different people. It's going to be a study on how best the resources of each community, what they have, and what they could combine and work with. So it's kind of a little bit different, because the first thing I said is, I thought, hey, you know, we just paid 50 grand 7 years ago to get out of this. I said, we're not gonna throw money into it to get back into it.
You don't think it?
I said, so that's gonna be a hard sell for our town. But if you guys wanna put the money into it and see what resources everybody has, what everybody could use, or maybe, you know, help each other out with it, I said, that'd be a better way to go. So, we'll see what happens.
That article almost mimicked what that meeting was in the town of Guanago that I attended, where they had 5 different communities, I think, come together there, the surrounding, and discuss the same thing. What equipment do you have, what opportunities do you have, et cetera. Almost identical to what the article was. Everybody's looking at, and I think our Waukesha County's got that study going on too.
Yeah, Waukesha County's the one that started the sort of Lake Country area, but at the insistence of the fire chiefs, we insisted to be the whole county. The Waukesha County money paid for a special interest group from a certain part, and Mr. Farrell was a little bit resistant to that at first, but now we just found out last month that we're now included in the study.
Okay, that's all I have, John.
I don't have any correspondence or announcements.
I had a conversation with one of the scoutmasters from Troop 26 in regard to what Karen sent the email off in regard to the memorial up at Fire Station 1. And he was very concerned about the fact that it wasn't complete. He thought that it had been decided that it was going to be part of the DPW and the fire department were going to finish part of it. I said, no, this was a project designed and initiated by the Eagle Scout. He says, oh, okay, well, he would follow up on it. He was going to take it to his scout council and find out exactly, maybe work in conjunction with the DPW and with the town to finish that project. I said the intentions were good, but it just never got complete. And oh, yeah, Chief, did you have some input on that?
Let's wait till you get to your
okay.
Stuff.
And
just moving on.
the only other comment I wanted to make was to wish all the veterans out there happy Veterans Day. I know we aren't really doing anything this year, but that doesn't mean we've forgotten about the veterans. Thank them for their service, and hope everybody has a safe and prosperous Veterans Day.
Eddie?
I have nothing from no contacts this year.
Bill?
I had last meeting presented some information on discussion I had with a Mike Dorr, Town of Waukesha board, who he doesn't head up the DPW, but he's been designated as guy to oversee DPW. And after the first discussion, we were going to get a list of items from their board as far as what they would need to help with from our DPW. as of the last several days, that picture has changed quite a bit. I think their situation has changed. So now it looks like they're gonna want to go much farther into it than just a few odds and ends. So we'll have to discuss that.
That's all we got the closed session for. Okay. John?
Well, in regards with that scout, thing, Mr. Giram, he called me today regarding that too, and
Okay.
yes, he said we would try really hard to try and work that out. He was gonna talk to the chief too, and see if we could all work together and they could pretty much handle this.
And
We
we can explain a little bit to what occurred, was when we took the earth away, the quality contractors that were used at the time to build that building did it as cheap as they could, and it created a problem where there was no, the rock or the brick wasn't the same as to what was on the outside of the building. It was actually just cinder block. So we worked with the scout and told him that we would work with one of our people, who's a mason. He's going to reface that, and he's going to put on basically the same decorative face that's on there. He's gonna cut some bricks, he's gonna reface it. That wasn't the scout's responsibility. That was the fact that when we took the dirt away, the building was not what we thought it was gonna be. So that's on our end, that we're gonna be taking care of that. So once that's done, we'll backfill it all in, and it'll be complete. So,
Okay. As long as it gets finished, because
it will.
it looks like a half-hearted project right now, you know.
Anything else, John?
Want my report? Pretty much, well, the wood chips are gone for the year. We, as far as pickup, we were like about almost 150 stops over what we were in the spring. So it was quite a bit, and we had a high demand for them, so they're all gone now. We won't have any more till spring. So we picked up our new truck yesterday, so that's in. If you guys want to stop, take a look at it during the day, whenever, it'll be here. We're right now in the process of just setting everything up for getting ready for winter plowing and going over the trucks maintenance wise. And again, like I said, we painted those pipes for them cisterns, and except with the exception of the one that we didn't do yet. So that's about it.
Okay, thank you.
So you want me to bring some more brush over, John?
We're done grinding.
Madam Clerk?
Nothing.
Nothing. All right. Finances. Accounts payable, dated October 19th.
Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to state to the board that Supervisor Bill Craig called, and we did find a duplicate payment on the Home Depot bill. We did void that check and reissued it. You'll see on your pink form, it's check number 63487 for $595.32, and we did void out the check for $718.83. I also put on there's a bill from Spectrum that had $14 worth of late fees that they did move, but because of the timing of the Spectrum bill, I did add that bill for $495. So the accounts payable would be $17,130.40. Instead of doing a manual check, since I had to void that one Home Depot bill and redo it, I just put that $495 and a copy of the receipt before you for Spectrum. And we did establish online accounts, so from now on we'll download the statements to make sure that we get all those statements in time so there's no late fees. Because this is a vendor too that wanted us to do it automatically and pay it automatically out of the checking account, so.
Okay.
I move we approve batch number 2017-1102 in the amount of, would that stay the same, Karen? Is that,
It's
that would still stay?
No, it's because you voided the one bill, corrected it, $17,130.40.
Okay. in the amount of $17,130.43.
I'll second that.
It's 40 cents, Bill, is that okay? For,
Pretty close.
that's pretty close.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Manual checks.
There is a one manual check for the newsletter. I believe it's 720,
Yeah, that was in there.
$720.13.
13 cents. Yeah.
I'll move to approve the manual check, the amount of $720.13 for postage.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. All right, minutes. I'm gonna just take these October 11th, October 16th, October 18th, and the 19th, all in one along. Of 2017. Any discussion, corrections, additions? I looked at them, they were pretty good, except for we had one little change, but we corrected that. I'll make a motion to approve.
11, 16, and 18, correct?
Right. And 19,
Oh, and 19?
yes.
Do them all at once or one at a time?
Do them all at once.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from October 11th,
Eddie?
October 16th.
I already made the motion, Eddie, you just.
Oh,
gotta
I'm
second
seconding.
All right.
Sorry.
One thing on the 19th, October 19th, third page. Midway down, motion, Supervisor Bill Craig should probably be moved to approve county lines. Vernon Blue Winter newsletter. Pretty minor, but.
Oh, I see it, okay.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. All right, the next meeting date will be November 16th at 6 p.m. Public comments, are there any public comments? Any public comments?
Mr. Simon, are you here for the bill?
I am.
Please come up.
Okay, hi.
Hi. State your name, please. and
My name
address.
is John R. Simon. And my brother Christopher had previously asked you to attach some remaining attorney's fees to my property, which he had no legal authority to do so. What it was is we had an LLC, my brothers and sisters and I, and we had all agreed unanimously that I would get this parcel of land in exchange for being part of the LLC. And as of May 5th, I was no longer a member of the LLC, which I had previously had 9.4% ownership in. And I don't know if the town attorney is here.
No.
No? Okay, but I have the agreement recitals, and item 2 says John R. Simon shall no longer have any interest in Marchon Farms LLC. That upon execution of this agreement and delivery and acceptance of the attached deed and transfer tax return. And my brother signed and dated it 5/5/17, and then I signed and dated it 5/6/17. And the two bills that are in, that have not been paid, the bills were dated 5/9/2017 and 6/15/2017. I was no longer part of the LLC anymore. And these bills were originally and are still Marjon Farms' responsibility. They were never billed to me directly. And I spoke to the LLC attorney on last Friday, and he told me that those bills are not for me to pay. He said they belong to Marjon Farms. And that Christopher had every opportunity to call Karen Shu to ask if there were any outstanding bills. And everything was deducted from the settlement when I signed it on 5/6. So this would be like additional monies being forced upon me, which it was all, everything was figured out to the penny. So this would kind of like throw this agreement to the wind, basically. It's a legal document. And I'm just asking that you bill it to Marjon Farms, which is where I believe it is being billed to. Like I said, my brother had no legal authority to ask the town board to attach it to my property.
Right, and we don't, to me, this is family.
Right. And I know
Whether
you
you
want to
were
get
in,
paid.
whether you were in or out of the LLC or whatever, this is still family.
Oh, yeah.
Whose name is on the,
Chris Margin.
Paying taxes.
It's the bills are applicable, there was a land division of the Marjon Farms.
Right.
The actual certified survey map was John's.
Well, well, actually, it was both, because they got 40 acres
Right.
of it, I got 30-something acres. The certified survey was done of the whole property. And there was a road that sort of divided the two parcels.
well, wasn't Chris the one that came in and
Yeah.
Yes.
did that? Okay.
He was the representative, or is, for Marjon Farms.
Okay. Any other questions, gentlemen? Yeah.
Just authorize it.
Yeah. Okay, we'll take care of it.
Well, it goes to Marjon Farms now? Okay. Well, thank you, I appreciate it.
We'll
I
send
mean,
it
because that
on
is where it's supposed to go.
Right.
Their own attorney said Chris had every opportunity to ask Karen if there were
Right, and
outstanding
we
bills.
We don't wanna make bad blood in the family.
Well, there
You guys
kind of
gotta
already
take care of
is,
that.
but-
Well, you guys gotta take care of that, we don't wanna take care of it, we don't wanna get in that.
that.
All we wanna do is get the services paid for.
Oh, yeah, and that's understandable, and I realize in the whole scheme of things, it's a small amount, but it's sort of it's a matter of principle.
Well, it's-
So, thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Any other public comments? Any other public comments? Other public comments? All right. Motion to go into closed session. Consideration of possible action on a motion to convene into executive session under Wisconsin statute 19.85. Pren 1, Pren E, deliberating of negotiating and purchasing of public properties, the investing of public lands or conducting other specified public businesses. Whenever competitive bargaining requires closed session, more specifically, cooperative boundary agreement between the town of Vernon and the town of Waukesha, including closed session, are town board members and town clerk. Before we do that, Chief, do you have anything to say? I seen you came here. Do you want to make a report on the new truck?
Yeah.
It's here. Stop down, take a look at it. The project turned out very nice. It took a little longer than what we had wanted because of some manufacturer issues. But overall, at the end of the day, we got a very reliable piece of equipment that'll last us for many, many years to come. And the guys are in the process now of starting to get it in service.
When's it going in service?
We're hoping to have it by the end of the month, by December 1st is our goal.
I get some time, I'm gonna stop down.
Take it for a ride.
Yep, I like to ride around.
Yeah.
I just wanted to drop this off. I saw on your website that you're open to 5:55. I talked to you on the phone,
Yep,
Mr. Chairman.
Yep.
This is about the property.
if you go right down the hallway there, you'll see, my mailbox hanging right on the wall there.
On the left.
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Chairman
Thanks,
Thomas
John.
Byrd,
Yes.
Supervisor Jeff Millies.
Yes.
Supervisor Gary Wildy.
Yes.
Supervisor Ed Moline.
Yes.
Supervisor Bill Craig.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I'll note for the record that you had a unanimous voice vote to go into closed session.
All right, we're now in closed session at 6:10.